I remember when I went to New Mexico with George and Ricardo, and we got in a fight over there at the Gage Bowl, you know, at the fucking bowling at the bowling area. The cuates, they had it down packed and fucking representing y toda la cosa. Manco Miguel was fucking Arturo's Jaina, and she ended up having a baby with Ricardo. Uh, I shouldn't be saying this story, but it is what it is, you know. Little fucking my tia Berta's fucking son, and the Cuates and Miguel, they end up starting a fucking a restaurant over there in New Mexico, and she was like the waitress, una gringa, and she was hooding around, you know, and Miguel and Ricardo and I forgot his name, my primo, like the they're sleeping with her, and my mom was one of the waitress, and my grandpa and my grandma were partners in the restaurant, and I remember me and Miguel got there, and like I always picture Miguel, he's little fucking Tommy figure friend. Always has to fucking represent, you know. He was, even though he was with Oralia, you know, and he ended up sleeping with her, and at the end, the kid ended up being Ricardo, Junior. He ended up going to the army, and he's a little character. He's a female. The family got in a big conflict. Shouldn't tell the story, but I'm gonna say it the way it is, you know. So Arturo was fucking mad, and everybody was mad, and my tia Berta's son, everybody was fighting against each other y todo. They say that they called the cops on everybody, and everybody got busted, and it's a long story. Long story short, well, the story that I'm gonna talk about is me, Ricardo, and George. We ended up going to the Gage Bowl, and right there in the Gage Bowl, we met some fucking gangsters. You know, they were fucking Navajos. I don't know what the fuck they were, but they were deep. And my primo and them, they used to slang right there, and they used to fucking be the heavy hitters, you know. And these were like about 10, 15 vatos there that my primo Ricardo he's in a wheelchair, but he was a trigger happy vato, you know. And Ricardo was like build, you know. He's like about 4 years older than me, 5 probably. And Arturo, Pancho, and everybody, they were representing up there, They were like putting in fucking business, you know. And this time I was with them, and I only had a knife. And George tells me, "Hey, you know what? I got a 45, you know." And George goes, and Ricardo goes, "No, we can handle it. We can handle it." And Ricardo tells me, "Hey, you know how to fight or no?" I go, "Yeah, I know how to fight." And he goes, "Well, we're gonna get in a fight right now. And if you don't know how to fight, we're not gonna defend you." I said, feed me. I could take care of myself." So we walked into the bowling alley, and there's the pool table. And Ricardo tells me, "Hey, man, go to the restroom and come back." I don't know why he told me to go to the restroom and come back, but I went to the restroom. I lasted about a minute. When I came back out, Ricardo was fucking snapping on these vatos, And he told them that if they keep snapping, that he was gonna tell me to fuck them up. And Ricardo, he's a cuevas, you know, and I think cuevas are crazy. And he's about my size, my length and all. And back in the days, I was only 17, so 16, 17, you know. So I wasn't fully built or not, you know. And I remember that he was Cherokee or fucking Navajo. I don't know what the fuck he was there. That Ricardo told me, hey, you're gonna fight him right now on site. And I said, fuck it. So we walked outside. Over there is Navajo area, so they don't call the cops, just to call the cops. And so there was like 10, 15 of them. And there was Ricardo, me, and George. And George is on the wheelchair. But George, he had his automatic on him, you know? Because if anybody snaps or gets out of control, I got you, primo, you know? We'll put in some work. So I went up to the guy. He was like nice size. He told, and he goes, no, not me. That other vato. That vato was like 6'4", eh? I was like, damn. And Ricardo goes, can you handle it or you want me to help you out? I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna handle it. I swear to God, when I approached him, I was like a couple inches away from his fucking head. I was like, damn. He had boots y toda la cosa. And I was drinking and getting, you know, and I having a good time. And back in the days, you know, I thought I was a good fighter, you know. So I looked up and I said, you know what, fuck it. You know, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And my primo George, we went on his car and he drove. And he had all these fucking gadgets, he told, because he was paralyzed from the waist down. And he told me, hey, you know, you got him or you want me to help you? I told him I got him. And we went to the side of the bowling alley, and that motherfucker swang at my ass. And once he hit me, I dusted it out. I said, nah, this vato don't know how to hit. I swear to God, I went beast out. I fucking went like Matrix, like fucking Bruce Lee, like fucking Danielson, you know? It's like, I went and I fucked him up, eh? I'm talking about fucking him up, eh? And once I started fucking him up, Ricardo came and told me, hey, muro sight, puto, muro sight. And muro sight, and Ricardo just shot him, man. You know what I mean? It's like, I said, fuck. You should have just told me that, man. I would have, like, not fucked him up so bad. And he goes, nah, fuck that vato. That vato was my competition, you know? It's like that. So we end up taking care of the situation. He didn't die. He didn't shoot him to kill him. He just shot him to shoot him, you know? And I remember one of his homeboys went up to Ricardo, my primo, and told him, from now on, whatever you want, whatever you need is taken care of. And I told my primo, that, you know what, what's up? Am I part of the family or no? He goes, yeah, you're part of the family. Remember that night, we went back to my tío Luis's house. That's where Arturo and everybody was at. And they had big dogs, right? And every time I wanted to go to the restroom, I had to tell them, hey, can you fucking lock up your dogs? And like, nah, fuck that. You go to the restroom, you go to the restroom. And every time I went to the restroom, I fucking felt like I was going to get attacked. Well, we ended up picking up some hyenas right there in the gauge bowl. And we ended up picking up 3 hyenas. I had one, Ricardo had one, and George had one. And I remember back then, Anga, and he was a youngster, but he was a tough motherfucker. And Arturo had a 64 Impala that he was fixing up for him y todo, pero Anga was there. And I remember the hyena I had, I'm not saying that I didn't handle my business, pero Anga said, hey, can I get some too or no? So me and him had a threesome with her y todo, and I ended up leaving Anga there, and I ended up going with Ricardo's hyena, because that's the hyena I really wanted to be. And Ricardo told me, hey, you know what, go out George. So I ended up going with George. It was the funniest story, because we were playing dominoes and toda la cosa, and he hadn't fucked his hyena so yeah. And he tells me, hey, you want to warm her up or what? And I said, yeah, I want to warm her up. So I started warming her up y toda la cosa. And he goes, just don't stick your dick in there 'cause I don't want your germs or nada. You know, I was like, alright. So I warmed her up and we were drinking shots y todo. I was faded, right? Faded. And I remember that I was like up on her y todo. And he took his pastillitas, and even though he was paralyzed, he could fucking hang all day. Well, at the end of the whole night, he used to hook him up, right? Don't think he was just a player, you know. Uh, and he ended up sleeping with all three hyenas, and he did all night, all day. And I remember we're on some shit, you know, and you know, and I remember that I kept telling one of the girls that like they were Navajo that I liked her, you know, and she's like, "Well, I like you too," and he goes, "But your primo's here, you know," and everybody wanted to be with George because George used to hook him up with money, toda la cosa. He was a flirter. He was like me and George. We got along good, you know. And he could fucking talk. He could fucking todo, and he could fuck. I mean, not saying que no, pero he could fuck. Se toma su pastillita and all night long. You know what I mean? Es un perro, el hijo de la chingada. And I remember the hyena. She was half Navajo and half white. And I told George, George, come on, carnal, you know? It's like, I want some of that hyena. And he goes, you really want some of that hyena? I go, yeah. You want my leftovers? I go, yeah. And me and George just bombarded her, you know? We fucking abused and re-abused, and we put the seas out, you know? The cuevas. We put ourselves in the map. And George ended up being with her for like 10 years, 10, 15 years. Too bad he couldn't have kids no more, you know? Because he was paralyzed. And Ricardo ended up having 3 kids. And we've always communicated, and we always got together on Jaime's anniversaries back then. But we haven't hanged out in like 20, 30 years, you know? And hopefully one of these days we get to hang out and reminisce our fucking past. I remember that same town, same ball, same gauge bowl, little skating ring. Me, Rachel, Danny, and Linda, my mom's boyfriend. We ended up going there a couple of years later, like a year or 2 years later, and we ended up fighting right there. And we had a big brawl right there. Even Linda got down and crazy. I remember I was just beating up people, and it's a story to be amazed and be surprised. And Don Chiquito. Him and Ricardo did to see whose kid it was, but it was Ricardo's kid. And they've always got in a little argument and have a little discussion. But Don had his 2 kids, and Ricardo has his 2 or 3 kids now. And it's awesome. It's awesome that we all get to experience life and be around with each other. A lot of people tell me that don't fuck with the cuevas, you know? They're too fucking ruthless y todo, pero I've earned the respect. Desde my primo, rest in peace, Luis, he knew that we're standout guys. We're like proud boys, you know, like firme gente, you know? We're always like representing, and we're down, you know? Pancho, me and Pancho, we got in another fight with some other vato. And Pancho, growing up, he was always at the garage, and he was always planchando y todo. While his son ended up having a baby just recently. His ex Jaina, baby mama, lives right here in Downey, and I get to talk to them and I get to be around them. And me and Pancho, the story that I remember was over in New Mexico también. Pancho was always with his fucking leather jackets, greased up. He's from the Junior Mafia. And he's down and crazy. He did like 10, 15 years, you know? He put in some heavy work. And we're over there in New Mexico. And Pancho tells me, hey, you know what? I got this homeboy that knows how to fight. I want to test you, you know? Let's do it. And fucked him up, eh? Fucked him up. And Pancho fucking just gave me my respect and gave me my props. And I've been in communication when my primo Luis passed away. They were down here and all, but we haven't had the proper hangout, you know what I mean, to be around with each other. And I know the day that we hang out and I got my respect from them and they got respect for me, and we're all impressive, you know. They know that we're down on our side, you know. So I just want to tell everybody it's always a pleasure and an honor to represent the familia, you know. On this side, the only ones that really fight is me and Bird, you know. Everybody else, little cha-chow, you know what I mean? But the familia knows that I'm here for you guys, and I'm here whenever you guys need us. And it's been an honor telling all my stories, and I got stories with everybody. Desde El Grullo, desde Tonaya, desde San Fernando, desde Hacienda, desde mi tío Pepe, mi tío Jojo. I got stories with Gil, with Caleb, with Bird, with Jojo and Miguel. I got with Big Joe, and I got stories with everybody, and everybody knows that. Desde mi tía Rebecca, mi tía Belia, mi tía Bola, everybody knows that I've always been a standout guy, and it doesn't mean that I'm crazy or algo. I've always been respectful, and I've always been always acknowledging and respecting my older people, though. But when it comes down, I've always had to step up. The next story is, like I said, me and Jenny from the Bronx are gonna be talking stories how we grew up, you know. And the only one that got lucky, really lucky, was Olga's Miguel. He didn't get rocked, and the other one that got lucky también, but we had a little discussion, was Rocky's husband, ex-husband, whatever you want to call him now. And he knew that he became, you know, from the other side, though, and so we can't talk about him no more, you know. But he knew that I represented, and he knew the Tovato I was, and he always told me, hey, you know what, I like the way you conduct yourself. I like the way you don't need no vato. I like the way you represent and conduct yourself. And I don't want to say nothing about him, but he knew that I'm fucking down, and I don't need a neighborhood or someone to uplift me or motivate me. He knows that I'm a down vato, you know. So Rocky and Devin and Olga, Matieva, and everybody, they know that they have me. And when the dogs bit Rocky, I was there, and we represent it. We fucking stand out. And Rocky and Olga and Devin and todas, they know that I would do anything for you guys. I just want to tell you guys that all my fights, all my stories, yes, I bullshit, yes, I put criminals talk or whatever, but I've done them, I've lived them, and I'm right here. Anybody wants to prove wrong, aquí estoy. desde Tonaya, desde Grullo. I'm here. I've always been here and I'll always be here. Alright then. Next story.